Let me tell you something about pigeons. Pigeons have earned probably the worst reputation of all the birds out there. Some people do really love them, but still. We put up pigeon spikes, we poison them, we call them rats with wings, we make these special pigeon nesting houses to then steal their eggs and slow their reproduction. But it hasn't always been this way.
Just as our cities have become bigger, for a pigeon, it's a dream because they like cliffs. A building is just like a cliff for a pigeon.
That was pigeon researcher Dr. William Smith. We started living with pigeons at least 10,000 years ago when we domesticated them for food. And over the centuries, they have been escaping and establishing independent feral populations.
When they were escaped from domestication, I think they'd have realized this is amazing. We've got nest sites here and we've got food. We don't have to fly miles to find food every day.
They have been food, they have been messengers. Creating fancy pigeon breeds was a big thing, at least in the UK. Doves were associated with Aphrodite, the goddess of love. By the way, white doves are ultimately just white pigeons. They represented the Holy Spirit and peace, although that's a bit of an oversimplification. They will still whack each other if they have to.
Now, the chicken is the most important bird, to us at least as Europeans, but in the past it would have been the pigeon.
As we can see over the course of our history, they were far from rats with wings. They were useful, they were loved, they represented holiness. But then something happened. We don't really know how or why they lost their reputation, but it might be just because as our cities grew, so did the pigeon populations. And eventually there were so many of them and they were all in our faces that proximity bred contempt.
It's kind of sad to see just how much they've turned up in human culture, and nowadays people don't even see them. People will walk straight past them in cities like they don't exist.
Is it true that pigeons are super nasty? Like, do they really spread a lot of diseases?
Many animals can spread diseases to humans. I think it's a big exaggeration to suggest that feral pigeons are, absolutely ridden with disease. They don't stand out as being really, really unsanitary.
We bred them to live alongside us. Now we are annoyed by their constant presence. But a pigeon is a pigeon, and the story of how they got here is at least a little bit marvelous.
I think whenever there's human-wildlife interactions, there's always going to be people that don't like them. I think that we just need to learn to appreciate that this is one of the most important birds in our history as humans, and it will probably continue to be.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, do you have a minute? Sir, do you think humans are treating your species fairly? Sir,